Hello and welcome. We are about a week into the new year, and I have finished reading one book, and that book is Safe Enough and Other Stories by Lee Child. I started this last year, got about halfway through it, and a lot of the stories just kind of started feeling sort of like the same. And I think that is better in the second half than it was in the first. The last story might have been the best story in the collection. So if you like Lee Child, Jack Reacher, you like crime stories, this is not a Jack Reacher collection. This is Lee Child's non-Jack Reacher crime stories. But if you like that kind of thing, I think it's worth picking up, for sure. So I mentioned that I was going to try to branch out and get back a little more to my broader creative way of kind of doing things. And I have, to some extent, been doing that. I have unfortunately also had, I don't know if really a setback, but something very disappointing. I shot a roll of film at Christmas, and I'm not gonna throw the lab under the bus because these things do happen, and this is the first time it's happened to me, and it's pretty rare. But the lab who was developing my film, something happened in the development process, and the roll turned out blank. So I don't know exactly what happened. There's, of course, all sorts of things that can happen with equipment or like user error. And you know, it's just, I was pretty sad about it earlier today, you know, because it's got my niece and nephew and grandparents, photos of all of them on it. And but you know, with all the kind of things going on in the world, it's really not that big of a deal. The lab's doing everything that they really can do to kind of make it right, I guess. You can't ever really fix something like that. But like I said, I mean, things happen. So they're replacing my roll of film and refunding my money. So kind of all I've lost are the photos, and there's just nothing I can do about that. So that's very unfortunate. Not going to stop me from shooting film. I think that kind of thing probably happens to a film shooter once, twice in a lifetime. And so I think the odds of it happening to me again are probably really, really low. I should probably find some wood to knock on after saying that. So, but yeah. Let me think. What else have I been reading? So I'm currently in the middle of several books, and I'm just going to show you a couple of them. I've got kind of like a very long-term project going with this one. It is the complete Chronicas, or I don't know if it's complete, but it's the Chronicas of Clarice Lispector, Too Much of Life, published by New Directions. And they're just little 1 to 4 page newspaper pieces that she published from in the 60s to the early 70s, I want to say, something like that. And they're all kind of different from one another, and yeah, it's just good. I'm 40 pages in. I think it's about 740, 750 pages, maybe a little less, but yeah, so it's gonna be, if not a year-long project, absolutely a long-term project, for sure. I'm also reading Hold Still by Sally Mann. It's a memoir. She is a photographer It's just chock full of photos, and I find her photography and her very, very interesting. It's really well written, and keeps you engaged. I'm about 75 pages into this one. I think it's close to 500, but there are a ton of photos in this, so it's I'm not in any hurry to kind of get through it. I'm just enjoying kind of taking my time slow with it. It's not going to be as long term of a read as the Clarice Lispector. I imagine I will probably finish. Well, my phone storage completely filled up at the end of that. But the Sally Mann book, I think it will probably take me maybe through February, if I keep going at the pace I'm going. Not as long term as the Lispector, but still not rushing through it. Something I will probably finish in the next few days, next week, is The City and Its Uncertain Walls, the newest book, at least in English. I'm not sure if he's written more in Japanese, but his latest book in English. I'm enjoying it so far. I am approximately about 130 pages in. I think it's about 450, maybe a little less, but close to 450 pages. Enjoying it so far. I've only actually read one other Haruki Murakami book all the way through, and I really liked that one. So far I'm enjoying this, and it's getting better. There was a little lull there early on where I wasn't really sure if I was going to enjoy it or not, but so far at this point I can confidently say that I am enjoying it. So as for what I plan on reading kind of next, maybe, or soon, I know I'm already reading a bunch of things, and Bella's just doing Belle things in the background, so you can hear her, I'm sure. But, you know, she likes being the center of attention. Her collar's very noisy. But anyway, what I am kind of thinking about reading in the very, very near future is Possession by A.S. Byatt. I've heard very, very good things. My girlfriend said she really liked it when I told her I was thinking about reading it. So yeah, I've read like the first chapter, and it seems very, very interesting. I feel like winter's a good time. Just like January, February is a good time to read something like this. And so I might go for it while I'm in the mood, or I've got another couple of options. This is like 550 pages. I've got another couple of longer books that are calling to me. This time of year seems to be one of the few times of year where those high page counts and those thick books call my name. So we'll see. If I choose anything too long, I'll be traveling with it, which might be good. I'm only planning on bringing one physical book with me when I travel to England next month. So maybe I'll choose a big one. At some point, I got to finish reading Les Mis. I got about 130 pages, something like that, I think, into that. And I might try to knock out another little chunk of that soon. I think that might end up being a long-term project as well. We had planned on reading it with my girlfriend, who's like halfway done with it. We had planned on reading it in December, the whole thing, and that just didn't happen because December happened. But yeah, I will be getting back to that and finishing that at some point. I don't know how many months it's going to take, but I don't think it's going to be a quick, straight through type of situation. So we will see. Yeah, I saw Nosferatu a few nights ago, and I really liked it. I thought it was really, really cool. The cinematography and the kind of coloring of the film I thought was fantastic, and very atmospheric, very creepy, great performances. And yeah, if you like that sort of thing, definitely go see that. So yeah, I'll be back with more, maybe some photographs even at some point in the near future. But until then, just kind of chill or whatever. I don't know where I was going with that, but I will see y'all in a future video.